So, I have been meaning to make this video for a little bit now. Now, I know you've probably seen other videos out there about the Khvostov and how to get it, if it's good or not, or you've seen PvP videos on it because it is kind of slaying out in PvP right now. But I'm still going to make this video because I want to give you guys my honest opinion on this thing. I've seen quite a few people out there kind of I guess give it too much credit, and then some people give it too little credit. So I'm going to meet in the middle in this video, and I'm going to tell you guys my opinion on this weapon and what I think it does good and what I think it does bad. Now, as far as you new light players go, you're not, or you're probably not going to understand the nostalgia behind this weapon. You may have seen this weapon once in your lifetime, and that's with the new light quest. I'm not even sure if the new light quest gives you this weapon anymore as your first weapon. I really hope it does, because that's pretty cool for you new light people. But for my people who out there who have been playing Destiny for a long time, you understand the nostalgia behind this weapon and why it's just really cool to have it in exotic form in D2. I would like to say in this video, I am not going to be showing you how to get it because unfortunately I did not record myself getting it at all. So I cannot show you guys the things that you need to do to get it, but there are multiple guides out there. So feel free to go look up a guide for this. But as far as the rest of the weapon goes, we are going to talk about the perks and I think the pros and cons about it. So let's go ahead and get into it. First things first, we're going to talk about the perks that this thing has, and we're going to break down what makes this thing so special. Starting with the intrinsic, we have the right choice. Every 7th bullet from this weapon deals additional damage and ricochets to nearby targets. So, from the testing that I have done with this weapon, I'm almost 90% sure that it doesn't matter whether you start with a full mag or not when you begin shooting. I'm pretty sure it only counts, like it counts every 7th no matter what. So on that 7th shot, every time it hits a new 7th shot, you're going to be getting an extra damage on that bullet, so a damage buff, and you're going to ricochet to nearby targets. This is one of the main things that makes it really, really good, but there's more. And the more that I'm talking about is the other perk called Eyes Up Guardian. What this perk does is every time that you pick up an orb of power, you are going to gain enhanced ricochets for this weapon. It gives you 7 enhanced with every orb of power that you pick up. Now you might be asking, what does that do? Well, every time that 7th bullet does damage and ricochets, the ricochets from the weapon are going to do more damage. So every time that you're shooting, you will get extra damage from the ricochets on every 7th bullet until you run out of the buff. So 7 different ricochets will do more damage until you pick up a new orb, refreshing this buff. The next perk that's going to make this weapon even better, and I think is a perfect combination for it, is called Eyes Up Guardian. When you pick up an orb of power, this weapon is going to gain enhanced ricochet bullets. So every time that we hit that 7th shot and we do more damage and we get a ricochet, the ricochet itself is going to do more damage as well. So technically, this weapon has a double damage like setup in a way, but you're not doubling the damage output. You're just doing more damage with a couple of different things on the weapon. I'm not gonna lie, my explanation for that was kind of boo-boo, but listen up. Here's what this weapon does. Shoot stuff, ricochets kill other stuff, pick up an orb, ricochet do more damage to other stuff, right? So I think it's as simple as I can put it. On top of those 2 perks, which work really well together, the weapon was also given shoot to loot. Now I'm gonna be honest, in my opinion, I don't really care that it has shoot to loot. Is it useful? Yeah. I mean, it's an exotic with shoot to loot, but I personally am not going to waste my exotic slot or swap to an exotic weapon for shoot to loot unless I am that desperate and I forgot to pull over a different shoot to loot weapon. But as far as this weapon goes, it works really well for the weapon, considering when you're clearing a bunch of ads, if you don't want to go step into the line of fire to pick up orbs to enhance the weapon and its ricochets, you can shoot to loot the orbs. As you can see in the video, I'm doing that. I'm taking advantage of the perk that I've been given, which is shoot to loot. And I'm just kind of showing off that you don't have to walk over to your orbs. or your ammo to pick them up, because that's how shoot to loot works. So for the weapon, I would say it's pretty neat, especially if you're going to use this in something like a GM maybe. Let's say you make a couple of orbs and you want to enhance the weapon, but you don't want to go run into the group of ads that are there. You can just shoot to loot them really quick. So it works, but personally, I think there's quite a few perks that could be better on the weapon. I personally think Bungie did a pretty good job as far as the perks go. Again, I do think that shoot to loot could have been swapped out for something different, but it does work for this weapon in particular. Now, the question at hand now for a lot of people is it worth it? Is it good? To answer that question, in my own personal opinion, I think that the weapon is good. Is it meta? Mm, I wouldn't say it's necessarily meta for PvE. Now, PvP, this thing has been killing it. Like, I use it in PvP too. Now, I'm not the best PvP player out there. I never claimed to be. I never will claim to be. But I would say I'm decent. Okay, I can use weapons and get kills. So as far as PvP goes, it is a very, very strong weapon. But I'm more of a PvE player, so that's really what I want to talk about the most. PvE, it's pretty good. Are there things that I would replace it with? Yes. I would definitely not be wasting an exotic slot on this weapon in content that, in my opinion, matters necessarily. If I'm doing a regular strike, like a strike playlist or whatever, sure, I'll throw on Khvostov if I'm bored, if I'm just farming some stuff or getting a synth weave for transmog. Yeah, I'll throw it on. Am I gonna bring it into a GM? No, I'm not. I'm not bringing this thing into a GM. Maybe for like a challenge, sure, but other than that, no. To sum it up, because I'm running out of footage, Khvostov is good, but it is not great in my opinion. It is fun, but it is not meta. To be completely honest, that's all I really have to say about the weapon. I didn't want to go into like some long tangent about it and bore you guys with everything that I'm talking about. I just wanted to give whoever's going to watch this video just a quick rundown of my opinion on it, because again, I did see people that were giving it a lot of credit. Honestly, I think more credit than it deserved, and some people weren't giving it enough. So again, I'm kind of the middleman. Like it's fun, but I would definitely use something else in like higher end content rather than use this thing. Ladies and gentlemen, if at any point in this video you found yourself enjoying it, or there was something in this video that I may have helped you understand, or maybe I taught you something new, consider leaving a like and sub. It is highly, highly appreciated. And go ahead and leave a comment. I love reading your guys' comments and I like responding to them. It gives me something to do when I'm really, really bored. So it's really fun for me. And I like the interaction with the people out here that are supporting me and watching my videos. But other than that, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.